The Power of the Page by Bernadette Astle of Manly, 2095. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Pencils down, bags packed, story time. Towards the end of the school day, our single-room schoolhouse was stickily hot. The droning sound of a tractor nearby carried through the windows where stunned flies buzzed helplessly. Restless fidgeting ceased. Sitting attentively upright, we 12 pupils of mixed age became oblivious to discomfort and distractions. Our young teacher read effortlessly, bringing the story to life with his animated intonation, his enthusiasm instantly contagious. The novel, Good Luck to the Rider, an engaging, prize-winning country story, was one we related to, and whose heroine's challenges thrilled us. I sat spellbound, transported from my bare desk, not wanting that chapter to end. There are always moments in life that nevertheless have a big impact. From that point in time, I was seduced by the power of the written word. I instinctively knew that reading, and particularly the magic of story, was to be pivotal in my life. There were few books at home, but my mother did read to us Australian classics, especially Blinky Bill. Fond memories remain of us sitting closely together, absorbed and laughing at the larrikin's adventures of that mischievous koala. "Just one more chapter," we would beg. How would he get out of that particular scrape? Before television, when not playing outdoors, reading was our main entertainment. The school magazine, offering story, poetry and puzzles, was a welcome literary addition, reread many times over. Moving later from our farm into town meant access to a library. Oh, the joy of a borrower's card, a ticket to Wonderland, that treasure trove of books. The limitations of life experiences in a small country town, I realised, could be expanded by the imaginative world books offered. Imagination was limitless. Making full use of my card, I read widely, relishing the opportunity to walk in someone else's shoes, to travel vicariously to other lands that had been merely names and coloured patches in our atlas. To witness other lives, visit other times, and empathise with different characters was illuminating, and to imagine different paths that could be taken in life was inspiring. An uncle brought me back from Denmark a special gift: 2 volumes of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales. They were by a foremost translator. Small, handsomely bound in a dark blue cloth, and illustrated with original, delightful pencil sketches. They were treasured, not just for their story content, but aesthetically. This instilled in me a preference for an actual book to hold and savour, rather than reading on a device. Traipsing home from school one day, I spotted an exotic bookcase in a shop window. It had 2-tiered, tortoiseshell pattern shelves mounted on slim bamboo struts. Just enough in my piggy bank, £5 saved from birthday money, to buy it, installed in my bedroom as a focal point. It was with tremendous joy and pride that I carefully arranged my small collection of books in it to showcase the importance I placed on reading, and offered an incentive to add more books. This embryonic library made me a collector of books. Birthdays and Christmas presents? Always books. During high school, I began reading newspapers, as well as exploring more adult literature beyond set texts. University expanded my literary world. Later, teaching English offered a chance to introduce others to reading good literature. Motherhood prompted me to revisit children's literature and beloved classics. Cherished, memorable times were when we read together, important bonding time. This was a golden time for the publication of Australian children's books. Even when the 4 boys could read themselves, there was still so much enjoyment in shared reading aloud. All became voracious readers, as are their children. Perhaps they too were made readers from early positive experiences. Further study in children's literature sparked a missionary zeal to spread the words, encouraging children to become and remain readers. Opening a children's bookshop enabled me to provide good books and recommend appropriate books for each child. A standout moment occurred when a friend brought in her 11-year-old son, struggling with reading and hating it. He had never read a book, he was quick to tell me. "What do you think you might like to read about?" Animals." "Okay. Any in particular?" "I only like dogs." "Well, there's lots of great stories about dogs." "I only like bulldogs," he stated stubbornly. The heavens had aligned. Gillian Rubinstein's Answers to Brute had just been released. It was a compelling Australian novella about a boy and a bulldog. The next night, his mother rang me almost tearfully to say they had read the book, he loved it, and was rereading it himself. Many years later, having kept his copy, he confided in me the emotional impact that book had for him. The relevance of the story made him realise he too could enjoy books. He was a reader. As life threw up inevitable hurdles and misfortunes, there was always the comfort of reading, a way of clearing the mind, an escape from the worries of everyday life. It became a habit to always ensure I carried a book with me. Belonging to a book group continues to be immensely rewarding as we exchange recommendations, ideas, and opinions. Who can place a value on friendships as we page-turners criticise and empathise, sighing and laughing together? Being a reader perhaps defines me best. It has added a richness and depth of meaning to my life. It is something I have done for as long as I can remember, something valued, something that gives me enormous pleasure, and something I can pass on and share with others. Once upon a time, my teacher read to us passionately in that humble schoolroom. I credit that captivating early experience 70 years ago with instilling my love of books, sparking my love of reading, and making me the reader I am today. It has been a gift. I have read happily ever after. The end.